think about the approach with which Mr. Mugabe came in as a leader of Zimbabwe? What did you think of that? Because in my opinion, I think he's got a lot of bad rap. What do you think?
I agree with you.
Okay.
Because this man stood for what many of us should stand for.
Okay.
We got to defend our turf.
Okay.
If you look at what's being done to the Africans today,
okay,
anywhere else is a reason for all-out war.
Okay.
Only the black men will sit back and allow another man to do that to them.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I have a beef to pick with all black men.
Okay.
Where are you? Where have you been? What do you think you're doing?
When you say that, do you know the story of YAA ASANTEWAA?
Yes, I do.
Are you modern day YAA ASANTEWAA?
I don't know. I do know that you men, you have disappointed us.
Okay.
You have let us down.
Okay.
And it's time that you stand up and defend us.
Very good. Yeah, it's envy. How do we get
It's
over
beyond envy. It's stupidity.
Okay. So now, my next thing is this. You know, the Chinese, they're not exactly known for their religious beliefs. Matter of fact, I think I heard that churches are not, come on, don't quote me on it, but I don't think we have a lot of churches in China. I saw a video recently in Ghana where a Chinese man now has a church and he's praying to people. He's putting his hand on them. And oh, by the way, he takes his cash right there before he puts his hand on you.
Yes.
And we're lined up.
Well, I'll tell you another good one. I think you heard the story about this white guy in Kenya who called himself Jesus.
Oh, really?
And there was yes, and because I loved the headline. It says, Kenya expels Jesus. And
oh, they expelled it?
There were two guys, who were now going around saying he was Jesus Christ and making people pay.
Okay.
So of course the Kenyan government heard about it and they expelled Jesus Christ. So yes, he's a Chinaman who saw an opportunity to make money. A lot of our own people are doing it, taking money from the people in the name of religion.
Okay.
So unfortunately, those are just issues.
Okay.
Human beings will take advantage. He needs to be stopped the same way many other pastors that look like you and I who are taking advantage of the people. We must go after all of them and shut them down.
You're not worried about security?
I'm speaking my truth.
About security, it has to have crossed your mind because these people don't play.
Hasn't even occurred. I'm just a mother, a grandmother who's speaking the truth because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
So, looking to Africa, what do you think? Are we going to ever get it?
Yes, we are going to get it. We don't have a choice. This is do or die, which is why I am going to continue to speak. I'm going to run around this country like a chicken without a head until every black person who needs to hear the message, who needs to hear the truth about what is really going on in our Africa has heard. Quite often, the reason we do not respect our Africa, the reason we as black people, we are our own worst enemy because we are the ones who dog the continent. And I realized, my own assessment as a doctor, is that we don't know our Africa. We know our Africa based on what they want us to know our Africa. We need to truly going on the continent. And this is one of the reasons why I am continuing to speak, because when we understand what is really going on in Africa, when we can see what the problems are and address them from the root, not from a superficial level, that is when true healing is going to take place. What we need to do as diaspora, we must continue to mobilize, because at the end of the day, this was not about reinstating me. I had no desire to be reinstated. I don't even care if the chairman is removed. That is not the issue. We, the diaspora, where we make a difference is to organize ourselves, and we can be the strong private sector that Africa needs to build the Africa that we want. We must take advantage of what is getting ready to happen in our Africa. Like I often say, you don't go to China and find black people driving the Chinese agenda. You don't go to Mexico, India, Europe, and find black people driving developmental agendas for those countries and those regions. Therefore, we must not go to Africa and find non-Africans driving the African continental agenda. We, the children of Africa, in the diaspora and on the continent, we have a responsibility to come together and drive the African continental development agenda. And the only way for us to do that is when we are powered with enough information and knowledge of our Africa, of what is really going on, not the frivolous lies that we have been told for centuries. And all it takes is all of us realizing that we are suffering from the shackles of the mind, that we need to make sure that what we have been told are lies. The only way for us to survive is to do like what other ethnic groups have done. Unite. Look at the Chinese diaspora, the Indian diaspora, the Irish diaspora, and many other diaspora. They come together when it comes to issues pertaining to their countries or their regions. We, the African diaspora, we must also do the same. Let's join hands with our brothers and sisters on the continent. Let's build the Africa that we want. And all we gotta do is unshackle our minds and unite.
Oh, you just get older and you say, you pick your battles, and you just rise above it. Because at the end of the day, the world is full of ignorant people, and we pray for them.
But I noticed that the fire in you has been burning for a long time.
Absolutely.
Because most people would have encountered with that, would say, you know what, that's how the world is, that's the way things are, let me just mind my business. Why is that not the option for you?
It's not an option because I grew up in a Rhodesia that was apartheid. And I grew up with a father who reminded us that the British were thieves, they stole our land. And he lived long enough to still remember where our original land was. And we would pass by there and he would always say, that is our land. And the British took it away from us, but we will get our land back. And so I was raised by a father who reminded me of the injustices of this world.
And they want to be compensated. They took it for free, but they want to be compensated. They had no passports and visas when they came, but they want to be compensated. They are saying the same thing in Zimbabwe. They want to be compensated. They want to be compensated in Namibia. They want to be compensated. That is the Africa that we are gathered here today to talk about.
And the realization that I grew up in an unjust environment. And to this day, I wake up and I still find myself in an unjust world. And when I was given an AU representative to the United States, I was representing 1.27 billion people in the United States and about 400 million people of African descent around the globe. I was not going to sit on that platform.
Very good.
That was a platform that I was given to represent, and I used that platform to speak our mind.
Because as early as 1961 in Casablanca, Morocco, the leaders of the time that if Africa wants to work, Africa had to unite. But fellow Africans and friends of goodwill, even as early as Europe was beginning to divide Africa, they had their own group. They had sponsored Cote d'Ivoire's Félix Houphouët-Boigny to argue against the Osagie for Kwame Nkrumah. 24th and 25th days of May 1963, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the message was one and clear that if Africa would work, Africa had to work as one unit. Something that we can learn from them? I think there is. Those of you who have the advantage and the privilege of serving in government, ask yourself, what did the Chinese do that within our own lifetime they succeeded in doing that? And they are everywhere, the Chinese. They know what they want. I think the first thing that you must do, you must know what you want. You know, last year I was sitting and watching a Chinese news channel, and if if you want to understand what others who are potentially your friends and enemies are doing, you must listen to their news. I was watching the CGTN and I was listening to the 6,000 delegates in China sitting and thinking about China, how China will deal with Africa and the world 100 years from thence. The people who are there will not be alive. In many African countries, if you tell them to think about what will happen tomorrow, they say only God knows. No.
The thing about PDS was actually handed over to the president's family. Knowing. So when you hear Thriller in Manila, it's basic. It is all about the family, the center, taking over ECG. So they put this WhatsApp group together. And you know, when I showed Ghanaians the WhatsApp group, it had Bamti Edward Kufu in there, it had Gabi Ochredako in there, it had Philip Ayensu in there, it had a whole lot of people, over 16, 20 people, family members, friends, lawyers. They were all on that platform making decisions for we Ghanaians, deciding our fate, trying to take our national asset to share amongst themselves. And I keep saying that I would never come on my show in any day without evidence. I always prove whatever I say. And I'm going to play voices, 16 voices. Yes, in the weeks to come, I'm going to play 16 voices, different meetings, conference calls on how people were sharing this ECG money behind the scenes. This is ridiculous. If you ask me, Ghana does not belong to a group of people, a clan or a family. Ghana belongs to us. ECG belongs to us. We don't expect some group of people to just hijack every single thing. Our forefathers fought to get ECG. Kwame Nkrumah, you can mention. We can't allow a few people to come together and sell ECG to themselves. This should not happen. We have to speak up. This is the time ordinary Ghanaians have to understand that party affiliations, being friends with somebody, family and friends will not work. This is the time we have to stand up, be bold, speak truth to power. We have to speak truth to power because we have only one Ghana. We don't have two Ghanas. If we lose it today, we're not going to have Ghana anywhere else. So when I do these things, people think that there's a motive. I'm targeting somebody. I'm victimizing some people. I envy somebody. I don't. I can eat a full chicken. Today is Thanksgiving in the United States. I can eat a full chicken. Yes, I can't. So what do I need? The only thing I need is to see my fellow Ghanaians living a good life. My fellow Ghanaians getting decent jobs. My fellow Ghanaians can just be at work and pick the phone and say, did my mom go to the hospital? Was she given that treatment? That is what we need. When we travel out of this country, we go to other countries. It is so embarrassing. A whole vice president gets sick and he flies out of the country. He goes to treat himself. He comes back and he comes to tell us he's the wisest person and that we should clap for him. In any reasonable, rational country, this guy, with all due respect, the vice president, Mahmoud Bawumia, would never be a vice president. You have hospitals closed down. You have basic infrastructure by the former regime. And when you say these things, people sit somewhere else and he's been paid. Who has not been paid in Ghana? The culture of silence, from the high priests all the way to the last our churches. Those who were vocal last week, last year, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, today they are quiet because what? One of us is president, because the president is northerner, because the president does not belong to a particular family. My fellow Ghanaians, let's get some things right. When a hospital is built, when a road are built, when water channels are built, that's when we get to know we are developing. We can't always be doing things every day. The youth, we piling them in schools, we choking these kids. They can't get jobs to do. We ignore all these people, we ignore the youth, and then when somebody says there's going to be an uprising, he's arrested. There's going to be an uprising when there's so much, when the tap is choked. There's going to be an uprising, and I'm not going to mince words here, because when the youth don't get jobs to do, when they don't get basic jobs to do, to get big salaries, can afford, they can access healthcare. When they go to school for 7 years and they come back home to sit at home for people to ridicule them, that is where the boiling point is. That is where you get to see that the country is on that edge.
So say amanone fo nyame bia yakofa na yeso no na edisade nyina abayeso.
Menuaba emse weni afikakra. Me pe was bisa question no. Asa wesua de akwanchire na ye nananom ayeso omosom. Edua baby wo ho omene to ne yam guna 120, 140, 150, 160 say oba bewu no onye eduaba no ento ho a onwuda. Yes ya bosonsom. Ofa 20 no afa menyene edua no afa we nyame dua no afa we no ode asija so no anoa no onu. Wo se ya bosonsom. Otete ahaban otete your friend say adeden kuna no atete susumansa no atete we no ahye no odware uboni tu a enko odi edubone eduane bone esi nanim a ene maya yam pentu ama wonkunu mu edi odi si nanim ne edubone wo mu a odi ne nsa to mu eduane na ebehwiegu hospital ni ho ofa your friend say nyame dua kakra no wafa otie kakra no wafa we kakra wafa konkode kakra wafa mahogany kakra no wafa we kakra no wa na abana no ode egukukuom no ode esi wanoa akwale bia ansa na obedidi no obenum bi mama na yare ni ho kwesi bruni bedanda yesi na nanu musun na ma yade adoso na mama me say o yare na o hospital o san kwa ji yare foforo ye nananom o motrase e ware mienu miensa na enum no prostate cancer ni ho stroke ni ho ene nkwala nketekete kura yare stroke ni ade
bia body cry ni
le na say yade ni nyina esan say eni bibre mu ha nti ni twidi bibi ti say stroke ni twi ka di ya friends say esi kire almost say hypertension eno ni twidi ni ya friends say na almost ba ko bi kidney failure eno ni twidi esen akamai mu ebibre mu ha no na sa yade basa na ni ha so say ade o san ka ohia enuma we no ma tro Matthew 5 verse number 3 enhira ne hunhum ehia no ho no so ahini no eye won dia New Testament no abeka tro say osikeni krampo enko heaven na mum ense osikeni be ko heaven dia ani anka poponko ebe wurapa na yetokrom enti ni pe ni jiwi kisosum ade a wayem amde tuwe mame mi hunu ntama aka me kode dada enti ye ka kire mrantie ene emabawa a se omohwe exclusive mo kan se exclusive me profo program